story at this hour, former Oakland Police Chief LeRon Armstrong addresses a new report that claims he is vindicated from any wrongdoing after he was fired back in February over his handling of 2 misconduct investigations into one of his sergeants. A lot of new developments to get to today. Crowd 4's Teresa Stasio at the press conference joins us now live with the latest details. Thanks for joining us, Teresa.
Justine, this just wrapped up this news conference. A lot to unpack here, but the chief of police, LeRon Armstrong, as you mentioned, vindicated in this report. He says it is a 55-page report. That remains confidential, but we can tell you a little bit more about it because the chief's speaking at this news conference. Now, this all dates back to February when the mayor of Oakland, Sheng Tao, put him on administrative leave based on an investigation into an accident. Now, this accident was a hit and run involving a Oakland police officer. Now, the mayor is saying that she was concerned about the chief's actions, saying that it was inappropriate, his response and his actions in connection with that report. The mayor then fired the chief, saying, again, that his response to the internal affairs investigation was wrong and that he fundamentally lacked credibility. Now, ever since, the chief has been fighting to restore his credibility, and now a judge looking at all of this back and forth issued this ruling. Here's the chief and his reaction.
Today is something that I envisioned happening a long time ago. I said from the onset of this that I was not guilty of any of these allegations, that the facts would come out in this case, and when the facts did come out, I felt like I would be vindicated, and today is that vindication. It really clearly says that I did not engage in policy violations. I did not have any issues around credibility, and the statements that were made regarding me in that investigation were unfounded.
So the mayor issuing a response to this report coming out and the chief's comments saying, quote, "It is important that we remember the context. We were in the process of determining whether an officer committed a hit and run and failed to report it, and whether OPD failed to rigorously investigate it before he had seen the report, much less than the underlying evidence. And while he was still the chief of police, Mr. Armstrong immediately dismissed the allegations as mistakes and not systematic problems, and insisted that the officer had already been held accountable. Quote, "My decision was based on Mr. Armstrong's knee-jerk response to the outside investigator's report and the poor judgment it revealed, not on the report itself. And while the law prevents me from publicly discussing the details of the report, neither my administration nor the federal court agreed with Mr. Armstrong, saying that the findings could be written off as mistakes." I did ask the chief, Justine, what he meant by that comment back in February where he said it was a mistake, and he said that that was taken out of context. So he said that he never called the hit and run a mistake. He said that it was much more nuanced than that, and that he always said and supported the findings in the investigative report. So, as I mentioned, a lot going on here. There's going to be a lot to unpack, but right now we've got the chief saying that he has been vindicated in a 55-page report. We are fighting hard to try and get that report so we can dig into it further. But that's the very latest here in Emeryville. I'm Teresa Stasio. Back to you.
Teresa, did the chief say if he actually wants his job back?
An excellent question, Justine, to which we asked if that is fundamentally why he keeps fighting to try and get his old job back. He did kind of hem and haw about that, but fundamentally saying that he believes in Oakland and that he wants to be chief. He didn't really say whether he really wants to be chief again, but it kind of came across that way to all of us in the room.
Sounds like it. Teresa Stasio, thank you for that live report. I know you'll have more for us tonight at 5 and 6. And in the meantime, the Oakland Police Commission is meeting tonight, and on the agenda, is supposedly extending the term of the interim chief, saying that that person can serve beyond 6 months. The commission will also get an update from staff on the search for a permanent chief. Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao has said that she will declare a state of emergency if the top 3 candidates for chief are not given to her by the end of the year. The police commission is set to hold this meeting virtually tonight at 5:30. We'll also see if they address what has unfolded today with the former chief and what the mayor is now saying. But there is also more fallout right now after the city of Oakland missed a deadline to apply for millions of dollars in state money to address crime. KRON 4's Hazik Madoud tells us what some community leaders want to see happen now.
Oakland got nothing. I'm going to say it again. Oakland got nothing.
The Oakland NAACP and other community leaders held a press conference here at Acts Full Gospel Church in Oakland to call for answers to why the city failed to submit an application on time to receive millions of dollars from a state grant to fight organized retail theft.
Missed the deadline sounds like negligence. Sounds like somebody was not focused on what was needed and what was necessary to do. But I'm not so sure it was just a matter of missing the deadline.
And that is why Oakland NAACP Legal Redress Committee Chair Terry Wiley is calling on the city auditor to conduct an official investigation.
This incident raised serious concerns about the city's ability to effectively utilize available resources for the betterment of the community, and it is our duty to seek transparency and accountability in this matter.
Number one, we want to increase the Oakland police force to a minimum of 1,000 officers to ensure there's adequate coverage.
Bishop Bob Jackson read a 10-point public safety plan developed by the church and the NAACP. It was released publicly earlier this year in response to rising crime in Oakland. He says Mayor Sheng Tao's office has taken no action on the plan, and he says now there is concern that residents will start taking actions of their own to protect themselves.
My wife has asked me, "Hun, I think I'm going to need a gun." So I've been saying that, and I've been telling the people that I know that's in authority and leadership that if we don't do something about the crime, the people are.
Oakland's small business sector is also preparing to take decisive action, hoping to get the attention of City Hall.
They are upset. They are angry. So what they are planning to do, we are going to be having a one-day strike for many businesses throughout Oakland. And in fact, we may have other folks to support us throughout the county as well.
Several community members also voiced frustration about the city's escalating problem with crime and Oakland not receiving grant money to combat it.
I am so tired, and I would just like to know, when will we get some type of service out here in East Oakland?
Asking for the city administrator job for to be fired. I don't want no, I want to be fired.
In Oakland, Hazik Madoud, KRON 4 News.